Assessing software developers is a long process which requires domain expertise. Codela is a cloud platform which automates this process without requiring any technical knowledge. A lot has changed in the software industry. It kept reinventing itself. But one thing remained the same, the technical interview. We still rely on paper and pen and the whiteboards. And it's just absurd. Codela is trying to bring that experience into the new digital era. With cloud-based Codela, companies can measure programming skills of the candidates, speed up the technical interview process, and reduce the costs. And the developer candidates can learn new programming languages, get acquainted to new algorithms, and get ready for their next technical interview. We got bootstrapped in February 2017, and in the last 8 months, we have assessed more than 1,200 candidates. We are aspiring to become a global platform for developers. We currently have 9 paying customers, of whom are the leading technology and finance institutes in Turkey. We have some competition. Our biggest differentiating factor from these competition is that we're able to measure programming library knowledge better than anyone. We're able to measure React and all these other nice libraries and just like 100% accurately place the candidate into the company. The market is growing super fast. Everyone needs developers. In 2019, the world will have 26 million developers. It's a huge opportunity for assessing developers. It's very easy to use Codela. You can just use it for free today. You get 10 assessments for free. And if you need more, you can buy our credits, and for $7.5 per assessment, you can get as many assessments as you want. We're looking for $120,000 in order to grow our business development efforts and to further create this global developer community. We have a global team that is able to execute on our vision, and we're hoping that you log in codela.net today and start testing your skills. Thank you.
Tim?
So this is something really valuable to the company. It's like hugely valuable. And you're charging $7 per assessment. I'm sort of thinking there's some business modeling that you can do that somehow makes this worth a lot more.
Yeah, we started off by positioning Codela as a pre-assessment tool. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to have business relationships. And in 8 months, we actually managed to get into like all the leading large corporations in Turkey. And now we're trying to expand on the community side and get developers and teach them how to become better in these technical interviews. And in the future, we're hoping that maybe we can use different business models and actually help these companies even further by providing them to an end-to-end service.
I would suggest looking at, there's a guy called Patrick Campbell runs a website called Price Intelligently. Mm-hmm. I would take a look at that, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of that quote, which is you determine your B2B pricing by doubling the price of something until eventually someone says stop, and then you know that you've hit a pain point, mm-hmm. right? I think it's
pricing.
Yeah, Flinch. Exactly. I think it's an interesting proposition, but I think as you scale it out internationally, it's how you get that pricing right in different markets is going to be tricky. So how are you finding candidates at the moment?
Sorry?
How are you finding the candidates for the job at the moment?
That's a trick right now, that we are actually not finding the candidates. The companies actually open up these positions, and on average in Turkey, 200 applicants apply for one position. So they have a lot of trouble assessing those candidates. What we give them is the tools to assess them all automatically and online at the same time. And what we learned is we actually got better and better at measuring who makes a good developer, and now we're going to use that technology and perhaps transform into an end-to-end solution company. But we wouldn't be able to measure it before without having this data.
Well, the tool thing just seems like a real waste. Why why aren't you just standing in front of the company and saying, look, I will find you a great candidate, and I want 1/3 of their salary for the next year, and we'll make sure we assess them all, and we'll figure out who the best one is.
That's a pivot.
Well, what we wanted to do is we really didn't want to get into the soft skills assessment part, which is very tricky, by the way. Like assessing like technical skills can be done automated, but the soft skill part is not fully automatable yet. So what we're hoping is that at least we can get them to their final interviews in the future. So we can just like vet the candidate and then just pass to the company and say we're not like 100% interviewed, but like we definitely made sure that the candidate has the proper technical skills. But again, we wouldn't be able to say this without having all this data upfront.
So
Audra?
in the U.S. market, we talked like for half an hour, so I'm cheating a little bit here by asking this question. But in the U.S. market, recruiters just throw engineers at the doorstep of the company, and that's all you need to do. And you get 30K, and it seems like you have a better way to target people to that door.
Right.
Can you maybe explain how that works here in Turkey? Is that there seems to be a difference in model in terms of getting recruiting fees?
They're pretty similar.
Okay.
Yeah. They're almost identical. The biggest difference is that the companies don't have as structured interview process as in US. Generally, they don't have the steps. We kind of like educate them on having multiple steps, such as pre-screening, like soft skills, and then technical again, and so on. But the HR firms work pretty much the same.
And we have a surplus.
Thank you.